Breakfast with Coal Town. 9:15.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
The best ideas are free with Ben Young from Bwaggy.com.
Yes, he's back in on this Monday to inspire us with some fresh ideas and to tell us about his weekend. G'day there, Ben.
Good morning.
You have a good weekend?
Yeah, another good Auckland weekend.
Go on, tell me about it. It sounded pretty amazing.
We hired a boat yesterday and went out on the Hauraki?
Yep. Hauraki.
It depends how you say it.
Yeah.
And we swam at 5 different beaches, 3 different islands.
Was it a race or something?
Oh, well, basically we wanted to do a bit of exploring and mix it up with some relaxing. And we got a reasonably fast boat, so we could get around pretty quick. And so that was nice. We stopped at Waiheke, and someone jumped off boat, swam ashore, went to the cafe, got coffees, held them in a tray, and swam back. They did, holding 4 coffees to top it off. When they got on the boat, on top of one of the coffees was a little chocolate fish.
Oh, that sounds like a circus act to me. That's insane.
It's like the best kind of Starbucks.
Yeah. Isn't that cool, a boat, you just pull into somewhere and get what you need.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we're very spoilt in Auckland to have that kind of access.
Yeah.
I took over a German friend and our new flatmate, which has just arrived from the UK, and they were amazed that this was within 45 minutes via boat from the city.
Yeah.
And so was I. You do kind of forget that just out there is some really cool stuff.
For those who are Aucklanders or want to be Aucklanders, you don't really appreciate the place you're in, the city you're in, until you're actually out on the water, and then you get a bit of perspective on where you're at. I think it's the same. I don't know, if you're in Christchurch, pop over to Littleton and get around the harbour and stuff, and it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So same with Queenstown.
And Wellington?
You jump on a boat. Yeah,
Wellington for sure.
Dunedin, out on the harbour is actually quite cool on a nice day.
Because weren't our forefathers smart by building cities? In the right
sail in. Do we want this place? No, we'll carry on.
Hey, from what you did on the weekend to nanoscience, can we bridge the gap?
So quietly, I am a bit of a physics kind of geek.
Yeah.
And I love this kind of stuff. And there was a release over the weekend about using nanobubbles to kill cancer cells. Now, so what they do is they've created the equivalent of a jackhammer, and they inject a patient with some gold particles which have been attached to cancer antibodies.
Wow.
So those antibodies, they're immediately attracted to the cancer cells, and then using lasers, what they can do is they can heat up the gold, which is now attached to a cancer cell, so that creates a bubble, which quickly allows them to visually identify which ones are cancer cells and which ones are healthy cells. Also, what they can do is they can continue heating it up and explode it so that it kills the cancer cell.
Fascinating.
And the intriguing thing about this is that once they refine this treatment, it's not just a matter of eradicating cancer cells, but you can also provide therapy in the same instance, in terms of you can get rid of the cancer cells but help keep other cells in balance and avoid new cancer cells coming about.
So is the gold in some way attracted to cancer cells?
I think it's more that I'm not a medical expert, let's be clear here, but gold is a safe metal to be in our system. And I think that's the main reason they use it, and I'm pretty sure it has some unique properties that lean towards that.
And so this particularly gets you rather excited.
Yeah, I quite like it because it's a simple problem. We want to kill something. Well, why don't we just put something inside it, almost like a Trojan horse, and just blow it up? Yeah. And all we're doing is on a very, very tiny scale. Yeah. It's not a unique model. It's just
unbelievably small scale, right? Yeah.
So someone's figured out how we can make this stuff ultra small, and then do it. And
it is extraordinary.
Yeah, it's incredible. A few years back, someone was saying they made a little car. It was the first car that they made out of atoms, I think.
Yeah. Well, here in New Zealand, we're somewhere at the forefront of nanotechnology. I know at Canterbury University, some very smart minds there. And a few years ago, they drew a map of New Zealand like on a hair or something.
Yeah.
It was quite extraordinary. I couldn't really tell what the practical purposes were, but no doubt It's all part of the bigger picture when it comes to nanotech.
Well, the first step is when you do this kind of technology, you do these little PR gimmicks because it helps people pay attention.
Yeah.
And then you can get some more funding and then do some decent applications.
Got to do some stunts.
Yeah.
One day, do you think it'll be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But at the moment they can put tiny little robots inside you that go and do specific tasks.
Yeah. I've read some examples of they can create tiny little robots that will go through and clean your arteries and your veins and clear obstructions, and that stuff's really kind of cool. Other technology that I've read about is putting little nano robots inside your mouth so that it'll keep your teeth clean at all times.
Yeah.
And also keep your gums healthy.
Yeah. They're specifically programmed to do that task. Yeah.
That's incredible.
There's a lot of scaremongering around nanotech as well, as of course, little robots that get out of control, start self-replicating and then take over.
Well, that's always the worry when you're working at the edge, that because we can't see what's going on, it is a little bit stressful for people.
Yeah.
But
I know anyone with a science mind just suddenly groaned as soon as they heard me start saying, "Oh, no, not talking about that." It's
by the time it gets to the public, though, they do 3 to 5 years of testing on patients, and before that, they've already done extensive testing before they can even test on a live subject. So it's not like you're walking out and they're selling it to the public and then testing it on them.
Yeah,
there is extensive testing before it gets the approval to be used on the public.
We're going to bounce from topic to topic this morning.
Yes.
Next onto packaging. What do you mean by
packaging? Well, how can I explain this? When we hired the boat, my first thought was, okay, we need to get a big cooler and we need to fill it, with some champagne, some bread rolls, some lollies, some fruit, and a whole lot of other stuff. And it astounded me that
anything but bananas.
What's wrong with bananas?
Were you guys fishing?
No.
You didn't do any fishing. I was fishing bananas and fishing better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But none of the boat rental companies had any extra packages. They just rented you a boat. I would have thought at least a couple would have here's a picnic hamper, and that costs an extra $150.
Yeah.
We had a huge group of people. We would have been more than happy to get 1 or 2 picnic hampers, or maybe some travel itineraries or some suggested places to visit, and you just pay a little bit extra for that. The key with packaging value is that you're wrapping value that people already understand.
Yeah.
So by that I mean, if you're selling me a picnic hamper, I understand that it's got bananas, it's got fruit, it's got Coke or whatever. I understand that they're worth money and that I'm going to pay for them. But when you wrap it together and say, here's a picnic hamper, whilst the goods might have only cost $100, my propensity to buy that hamper could easily go up to $150 because you're selling me a package, an experience, something different, rather than, we've just got a list of gifts that we're giving you.
So you think that's a good way to pulling the wool over the customer's eyes?
Well, it's more providing a convenience in a package value. Like when you go into the petrol station, they've got like 3 Panadols or little sticks of gum, and you know that they're overpriced for what they are, but at that point in time you'd like the convenience. Is
it like I was reading on the weekend, people are starting to think about renting out their homes during the Rugby World Cup, and there was one particular home, an Iraqi, I think, in Auckland, that was going for $120,000 for 2 months, but it was packaged.
So that's where the value comes in. Sure, if you looked at the house by itself, you might go, okay, they could probably get $2,000 a week during that time. But what they're offering is they're saying, look, we've got a nice Mercedes car, you can use that. We've got transport to and from the airport. We've got a chef that will look after you. We've got a cleaner that comes in. And they've wrapped together a whole package and said, look, you don't need to fret about anything. Just pay $120,000, split it with all your friends, and then you're set for the Rugby World Cup. And that's exactly what packaging value is about. Because you understand each component and you know what it's worth, but when it's all put together in one, you're willing to pay a little bit more.
So anyone who's in business out there today could start to think about, okay, so I'm selling this, I'm doing this. What could I add to it that could add value, but also add...
So telecommunications companies are quite good at this, where they'll say, look, we'll do your mobile plan, we'll do your internet plan, we'll do your home plan. So if you're looking at your own business, I'll be looking at little components that you can upsell to people instead of having, say, let's take a photographer. Instead of having a $200 portrait package, have a $250 professional portrait package, which adds in maybe passport prints, but also online hosting of the images or touch-ups or something like that.
Yeah. Red eye reduction.
Yeah. Well, just all these little things.
Yeah. Perfect.
And yeah, take the worry out of your customer's mind.
Gosh, well, we've gone everywhere today.
Yes.
We've gone boating. We've gone deep inside the human body on a
nanotechnology.
And
then back to Packaging
packaged.
Valley.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Thanks very much, Ben.
Cool.
You'll find a whole lot more ideas up at bwaggy.com, and you can also have a conversation with Ben on Twitter as well, twitter.com/bwaggy, BWAGY.
Cool. Thank you.